The rain started as a soft drizzle, but quickly turned into a violent storm that rattled the windows of Maya's small apartment. The sky outside her balcony had turned completely black even though it was only a little past 7 in the evening. Thunder cracked so loudly that it shook the walls and made the lights flicker. Maya stood in her kitchen holding a cup of tea, trying to ignore the uncomfortable feeling growing inside her chest. There was something wrong about the night, something heavy and watchful, as if the darkness outside wasn't just empty space but a living thing staring back at her. She had lived alone for almost 2 years and had gotten used to the silence, but tonight the silence felt different. It pressed against her ears. Every tiny sound made her flinch. When the power suddenly cut out, her apartment was swallowed by darkness. The hum of the refrigerator died. The ceiling fan slowed and stopped. Her phone was the only source of light. Then she heard the knock. It was slow and deliberate. 1, 2, 3. Maya froze. No one ever visited her at this hour. Her friends knew she hated late-night visits. She stood still, barely breathing, listening for another sound. The rain pounded harder against the windows. Thunder rolled again. For a moment, she thought she imagined the knock. Then it came again. 3 slow knocks. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears. She walked quietly toward the door, her phone shaking in her hand as she turned on its flashlight. She looked through the peephole and saw a woman standing very close to the door. The woman's hair was long and messy, covering parts of her face. Her skin was pale, almost gray. She was completely still, not even swaying in the storm. Maya opened the door just a few inches. "Can I help you?" she asked cautiously. The woman slowly lifted her head. Her eyes were red. Not irritated red, but dark glowing red, as if a dim fire burned behind them. "Please," the woman whispered. "I need help." Before Maya could react, the woman collapsed forward. Maya barely managed to catch her before she hit the floor. The woman's body was light, almost too light, like there was hardly anything inside her. Her skin felt freezing cold through her thin clothes. Maya dragged her onto the couch, panic rushing through her mind. She tried calling emergency services, but the call wouldn't go through. Her phone showed no signal. The storm had knocked out the lines. Maya wrapped a blanket around the stranger and sat on the edge of the couch, watching her chest rise and fall slowly. Every instinct told her something was wrong, but she couldn't bring herself to push the woman back into the storm. Several minutes passed. The woman's eyes suddenly snapped open. She grabbed Maya's wrist with surprising strength. Her fingers were icy, almost burning cold. "Don't let me stay too long," she whispered. "If I stay, I won't leave." Her grip loosened. Her eyes closed again. Maya pulled her hand away, her heart racing. She whispered to herself that the woman was just sick, maybe suffering from hypothermia, maybe hallucinating. Still, she felt as if something unseen had just brushed past her. She tried to stay awake, sitting on the chair across from the couch. At some point, exhaustion overtook her. She woke up at exactly 3:13 a.m. Her phone screen lit up with the time. The apartment was silent except for slow, steady breathing. But the breathing was not coming from the couch. It was coming from right beside her ear. Maya's eyes flew open. Her breath caught in her throat. The woman was standing over her bed. Her red eyes glowed softly in the darkness. Her head tilted slightly to the side, like an animal studying prey. "I am Vash," she said. Her voice sounded layered, as if multiple voices were speaking at once. "And I'm hungry." Maya screamed and reached for the lamp. As the light flooded the room, the woman vanished. The couch was empty. The front door was still locked. Wet footprints led from the living room to the bathroom. Maya didn't sleep again that night. The next morning she tried to convince herself it was a nightmare. But the footprints were still there, dark and muddy, leading into the bathroom and stopping in front of the mirror. From that day on, Vash never truly left. Maya began to see her reflection move when she wasn't moving. She heard soft whispers in empty rooms. Her name was called when no one was there. Scratches appeared on her arms when she woke up, thin red lines that stung when she touched them. Every night at 3:13 a.m., she woke up. Sometimes Vash stood in the corner of her room. Sometimes she sat at the end of the bed. Sometimes she was just a shadow on the wall with glowing red eyes. Maya stopped sleeping. Her hands shook constantly. Dark circles formed under her eyes. She felt watched even in daylight. She found muddy footprints every morning, always leading back to the mirror. Desperate, Maya searched the internet for anything about red-eyed women and shadow creatures. She found missing person reports from different cities. Dozens of women had vanished over the past 20 years. The last thing anyone had reported was that they were seen helping a strange woman who introduced herself as Vash. Late one night, her phone vibrated. A message appeared on her screen. "You invited me in." Maya's blood ran cold. The bathroom mirror cracked down the middle. A faint red glow pulsed behind the glass. Slowly, Vash's face appeared within the reflection, smiling in a way that stretched her skin unnaturally. "I was never human," she whispered. "I wear their skin." The glass rippled like water. Vash's hands pushed through the mirror, as if it were a liquid surface. Her bones cracked loudly as she crawled out, her body bending at impossible angles. Her skin peeled away like wet paper, revealing a towering shadow creature beneath, with long claws and glowing red eyes that burned into Maya's soul. "I live in houses," Vash growled. "I feed on fear. And you invited me." Maya tried to scream, but no sound came out. The shadow wrapped around her legs, freezing her in place. She felt cold breath against her neck. Everything went dark. The next morning, neighbors complained about a terrible smell coming from Maya's apartment. The police forced the door open. The apartment was empty. Only muddy footprints covered the floor. The bathroom mirror was cracked. And written across the glass in dried blood were the words, "She invited me." Weeks later, during another storm, someone knocked on a different door. A pale woman with glowing red eyes stood outside. Smiling,